Hey there, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into the fascinating world of Ireland's geological history and the secret history of its volcanoes. Now, you might be thinking, volcanoes in Ireland. That's a bit surprising, right? Well, buckle up because we're about to explore some mind-blowing facts about our little island. So, let's get started. First off, let me set the stage. We all know about active volcanoes, like the infamous Mount Vesuvius that buried Pompeii or the age of geological eruption in Iceland that caused travel chaos. But what about the volcanoes that are no longer active? That's where Ireland comes into play. According to the Geological Survey of Ireland, our island is dotted with extinct volcanoes that have shaped the landscape we know and love today. Now, that's a pretty cool thought, right? It's like our island has a hidden volcanic past. Now, let's talk about the variety of geology we have in Ireland. Dr. John Reavy, a senior lecturer in geology at University College Cork, describes it as a mosaic or collage of different rock types from various settings. This means that our island has a diverse range of geological features, including extinct volcanoes. Some familiar sites like Slieve Gullion in Company, Armagh, Croghan Hill in Company, Offaly, Mount Slemish in Company, Antrim, Lambay Island off the coast of Dublin, and Loch na Fooi in Company. Galway are all extinct volcanoes. That's a lot of volcanoes for a small island, right? Now, let's talk about the formation of these volcanoes. A lot of the dramatic landscapes in Antrim, like the Giant's Causeway, were not formed by volcanoes themselves but by fissure eruptions or cracks in the earth caused by tectonic plate movements. This happened around 60 million years ago, and it's been very stable since then. No chance of any volcanic eruptions happening again, according to Dr. Reavy. But, just to be clear, the extinct volcanoes on the island won't erupt again. Now, let's talk about igneous rocks. There are two types of igneous rocks, intrusions and extrusions. When tectonic plates collide or oceans open, the Earth's mantle and parts of the crust melt, forming magma. If the magma crystallizes below the surface, it's an intrusion, and it will look like granite. If it erupts as lava and crystallizes at the surface, it's an extrusion, or volcanic rock. An example of that is basalt, like the Giant's Causeway. Now, let's talk about the Mourne Mountains, Carlingford, and Slieve Gullion. These areas are the root zones of volcanoes, but the magma didn't escape at the surface, it crystallized below the surface, and what was above it eroded away. These are igneous intrusions, not volcanic rocks. Another site of igneous activity in Ireland is the granites we see in Donegal, Connemara, and Galway, as well as Wicklow. These rocks are about 400 million years old. Now, let's talk about the volcanic activity in parts of Galway, like Loch na Fooi, and areas north of Dublin. There's a series of volcanoes in these areas, and there's definitely volcanic rock there. In other parts of the world, like the Aleutian Islands in Alaska or the Caribbean, you get chains of islands from volcanic activity. Crust is destroyed under other oceanic crust, and you might get an arch of volcanoes above the surface of the ocean. Now, let's talk about the volcanic activity in Ireland. Loch na Fooi and Lambay Island, which are over 470 million years old, are two examples of that type of volcanic activity. There could also have been a surface volcano with a caldera at Slieve Gullion. The Ring of Gullion, with its circular topographic feature, could represent material coming up around the caldera. Slemish in Antrim could have been a plug feeding lava up to the surface and is now standing up there. Now, let's talk about the variety of rock types on the island of Ireland. It's quite phenomenal because these rocks seem to have been involved in lots of different activities at different places and times. If you go somewhere like Hudson Bay in Canada, you could see exactly the same rock type for millions of square kilometers because it's been a stable continental block for maybe 2 billion years. But we just happened to have caught all the action because we were in the right place at the right time where lots of things were happening. Now, let's talk about the natural heritage we owe to volcanic activity. As the Earth's crust moved around the surface, different parts of what is our island today formed. So, when you talk about Ireland had a desert climate or a tropical climate, it doesn't mean at this latitude. For example, some of the granites in Donegal or Connemara were formed during a plate collision, but the plate collision was south of the equator. Then, later on, by the time the Antrim lavas erupted, we had moved much further north. So, there you have it, folks. Ireland's geological history is a fascinating blend of volcanic activity and tectonic movements. It's a reminder that our island has a rich and complex past that has shaped the landscape we know and love today. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more amazing content. See you next time.